Greetings again. This is Dr. Bill White with the American Orthodontic Society, and we've had some questions about deep bites and where can you open them on anybody. And you can open the deep bite on anybody. This is I'm going to show this gentleman here was an air traffic controller, and he couldn't speak as plain as he wanted to, and so we had this deep bite, and we were could open this bite, and I don't care who it is, you can open the bite. If the teeth are ankylosed, you'd have to break them loose. But these upper teeth came down to this point. Let's see, we come right across here. In other words, they were down in this area right here, these teeth. And we intruded these teeth, and they stayed about the same length. In other words, we didn't bury them up in the bone structure. People wonder about, can you move the teeth and the bone structure will move with them? Well, the bone structure just moved up with these teeth as I lifted this up with these intruding arches. And these lower teeth were brought down with an intruding arch from inside. And in order to not increase we wanted to increase the vertical dimension of the face some, so we just left it clean here. Now we'll go to the next set of slides right here, and this is on the side, and you see these were down, but he was sitting on top of these. These teeth were down over here. These are up now. So all this bone structure here rose with the teeth, and the bone structure here went down with the teeth. The teeth are not buried up in the bone. The bone moves with the teeth. And I don't care if you go up or down or sideways. If you go to the front where the tissue is real tight, if you want to increase it and bring it forward, you got to run interference for it and use a lip bumper so that the soft vascular goes in front. But when you're just going down, you do not need a lip bumper to do that. So we're going to take these teeth down over here and these up, and the bone goes with the teeth. And you can do this on anybody. This is about as deep a bite as I've ever got a hold of, and I knew I could do it. This gentleman said to me if I did this down in Cleburne somewhere, and we had to straighten this up. So let's go again to the next side, and here's the same guy on the other side of the mouth, and these teeth fit here, and they were sitting on top of these back here, and they're still on top. So from here around to the other side, we raised these teeth, and we lowered these teeth, and we left these pretty much where they were. And I'm going to show a case the first time how we did this. Now there we are again. The guy is where we raised these teeth. He had a missing tooth down here. It's still missing over there. Now this is the case for an extremely deep bite. Now this is how this came about back in, I think it was the early 70s. I forget the name. And this is the two little wires we put on that gentleman's teeth. He came in and he had this deep bite, and he wanted to get his braces. He wanted to straighten this up. So we banded his 6-year molars back here and put this wire was up here, was raised up this way. The wire down here was down this way. And we hooked those wires to this guy's teeth. And I may have seen him one time, and he came back in after he just disappeared. Absolutely, he's a kind of a hippie type guy, and he just disappeared. And it was gone for 6 months, and his teeth went from there to here. And the reason he came in, he couldn't bite through a sandwich up here. So these teeth were picked up that much, and these went down that much, and you had a gap in between here, and the force to do that with came off of his molars back here at the back. Now normally, if you have, I'm going to put a little thing up here where we can write on it. If you have two teeth the same way, similar root structure in here, say we erase another one over there, that's a pretty sorry drawn tooth, but we'd had the root structures the same on these teeth, and you pushing one of them down by pushing the other one up right here. This one will go down 1/4, while this one will go up 3/4. In other words, it'll come up. There's nothing in there to hold it. So you raise it up and then lower those. So for me to do this gentleman that we just looked at over here, for this to happen, these molars back here had to take all of this force. And to lower these teeth down would have raised the molar over here. To bring these teeth up, it would push this molar down. But back in the mouth back here, this guy chewed real hard. Now let's look at his teeth from the side. These molars moved very little because he was chewing on this. If he had not been chewing on those, this tooth, to raise these up, this would have gone down a lot further. To raise these teeth, to intrude these, this would have had to go around. But in this particular case, these molars did not move at all, hardly, very little. And that's why these things hooked onto the 6-year molars work on class 2 cases like this. So I wanted to show that. This is how I learned that these teeth back here will take the load, and you can open anybody's bite working off of them. If you want to lower the vertical or the lower third, you put a block on this. If you want to close it, if you want to open it, you can put the block up in the front part of the mouth, and those teeth will come down, and you'll get more space in between the nose and the chin down here if we didn't want that. Now that's a fact, and if you want to check it out, I'd be happy for you to do that. But we took this guy and we came back. He went from that and there, and we opened the bite with this material. And it went from that closed bite to that, and these are the two little wires that had all that force, and he was gone for 6 months with this gentle force on there, and it opened up teeth up where he could not bite. And these teeth inside, look at this, was 1971 when we did this. And so we started from there with the intruding arch wire. It's the first time I had learned about that. Working about off of 6-year molars, we were able to bring these teeth down, and we took the anterior teeth up like that, and he put those two little wires on there, and in 6 months' time, he would just disappeared. We couldn't get hold of him, but he came in because he couldn't bite through a sandwich. And let me go back and I'll show that where he opened to this point, had nothing in there except opened the bite that much. And this opened up, it's right across the front here. He could not bite through that. So that's why he came back in to get something where he could bite. He didn't realize that his teeth had been intruded that much. I'm sorry this thing has continued to go back like that. Thank you for watching. I'm going to sign out now, and I hope you'll sign our, join our group here, and thank you again, and I'll close up.